Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from a group. In this video, we'll present our material about Deixis. For the first point is definition of Deixis. Deictic expression represent a key connection between the time frame, space, and people involved. The word deictic has its root in the Greek word deikneine, meaning to show. A related word deixis is used in pragmatics and linguistics, and it's referred to a process whereby either word or expression are seen to rely utterly on context. Levinson, in 1983, accentuates the role of the context. He argues that deixis is the reflection of the relationship between language and context. Deixis is an important field studied in pragmatics, semantics, and linguistics. Deixis refer to the phenomenon wherein understanding the meaning of certain words and phrases in an utterance required contextual information. Words or phrases that require contextual information to convey meaning are deictic. So it can be said that deixis is the use of general words and phrases to refer to a specific time, place, or person in context. For example, the word tomorrow, there, and day. Words are deictic if their semantic meaning is fixed but their denoted meaning varies depending on the time or place. Words or phrases that require contextual information to be fully understood, for example, English pronoun, are deictic. Levinson states that in English, deixis can be classified into 5 parts. First is personal deixis, place deixis, time deixis, social deixis, and discourse deixis. And what is the function of deixis? A deictic expression or deixis is a word or phrase such as this, that, this, thus, now, then, here, that point to the time, place, or situation in which a speaker is speaking. Deixis is expressed in English by way of personal pronouns, demonstrative, adverb, and tense. The term deixis refers to a class of linguistic expressions that are used to indicate elements of the situational context, including the speech participant, the time, and location of the current speech event.
Okay, the next is types of deixis. The first is personal deixis. Personal deixis is a deixis that shows the speaker himself. The person who is speaking has a role called the first person. If he no longer speaks and then becomes a listener, then he changes to the second person, while the person who is not present at the place where the conversation takes place is called the third person. In this system, the first person is the category the speaker refers to himself, such as I, saya, I, aku, we, kami, dan we, kita. The second person is the category of reference to someone or more, the listener or who is addressed in the conversation, such as you, kamu, you, engkau, you, anda. While the third person is a category of reference to people who are neither speaker nor listeners, such as he, dia, she, ia, he, beliau, conjunction his, and they. Example of using personal deixis. Why am I the only one given this kind of heavy duty? So, number 2 is I saw them at the market yesterday. Personal deixis is I and them. The second is place deixis. Place deixis, that is giving shapes to the location or place that is seen from the location of the actors or the event that occurs. All language, including Indonesian, distinguish between those that are close to the speakers, namely here, di sini, And those that are not close to the speaker, namely there, di situ, including those close to the listeners, namely there, di sana. In language, people will distinguish between here, there, and there, di sana. This is because here the location is close to the speakers. There the location is not close to the speaker, while there the location is not close to the speaker or listener. The example of use. The train station is 200 meters from the city hall building. So number 2, sit with me here. So the next is time deixis. Is the disclosure or giving of steps to the point of distance of time that is seen from an expression made. The content of the word is like yesterday, the day after tomorrow, this week, or one day. Usage example, the first is, this month's salary is not how much he received this month. So second, I can't help you right now. The right now is the deixis, time deixis. So the next is social deixis. Social deixis is an expressing or showing difference in social characteristics between speakers and interlocutor, writer and readers, or the topic or reference referred to in the conversation. The parable of social deixis, for example, use the words die, mati, die meninggal, dies meninggal, and dies to declare death. Each of these words is usage. Each of these words is used differently, as well as the replacement of the words homeless, blind, visually impaired, all of which are grammatically called hufat misbah, use of smooth word. In addition, social deixis can also be demonstrated by the honorific system or language manners. For example, the mention of personal pronouns such as you, he, and them, and the use of a greeting or title system. Example of using social deixis: can I see mom today? So the second, I hope you will accept my invitation. So the next is so the next is discourse deixis. Discourse deixis is a reference to certain part of the discourse that have been given or are being developed. These deixis can be shown through anaphora and kataphora. A reference is said to be anaphoric if the substitute referred to something already mentioned, while cataphors are things or functions that show a return to something that has been previously mentioned in a sentence or a discourse. The example of an anaphoric sentence are: Lala has never got a job even though she graduated 2 years ago. So the next, Ilham just bought a BMW car. The color is red. So sentences that are categoric are: here in this room the meeting is being held. The next, after he entered, Okta immediately sat on the chair. He. This is a discourse deixis. So that's more or less the concept of deixis, because we basically live in a social life. It is appropriate that we understand some of the norm embedded in language, so that our competence is not only limited to what is called language usage atau pemakaian bahasa, tetapi juga bagaimana cara menggunakan bahasa tersebut. Maybe that's enough. Please correct. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.